And we are back. Welcome to the final week of European action for the group stages in this year's Champions League. Today's video is going to be my predictions for all of the matches taking place tonight. But we will, of course, have videos for you tomorrow for tomorrow's games. And then on Thursday for all of the final group games in the Europa League and the Europa Conference League. If you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video if you do enjoy these prediction series. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the predictions we've got coming up for you over the course of the next few days. Let's get in to all of tonight's action. And the best place to start is, of course, in Group A with Manchester United, Bayern Munich, Copenhagen and Galatasaray, where for my club, Manchester United, the task is simple. Win tonight against Bayern Munich and hope that Copenhagen and Galatasaray draw. And the more I look at it and the more I think about it, the more I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Manchester United will win tonight and Copenhagen and Galatasaray will draw because I genuinely think that's the most likely scenario. I think we'll turn up tonight. Bayern just lost 5-1 to Frankfurt and they don't care about this game. They win this group regardless. And Copenhagen and Galatasaray drew 2-2 in Galatasaray, despite Galatasaray being heavy favourites to win. And both sides are going to be going for it. So I just think it's the most likely scenario that's going to happen. However, that's not going to be my actual prediction. As much as I want it to be my actual prediction, because I do really see it as a strong possibility. Firstly, I just don't have faith in Manchester United at the moment. The flip-flopping in terms of the form is unbelievable. Yes, Bayern lost 5-1 at the weekend, and yes, they were as unorganised as we are, but we're going to concede so many chances tonight. The way our midfield operates, we're going to concede so many chances tonight. And if Bayern get the first goal, it's done. Manchester United must score first tonight, or this game is done before it even starts. Because the mentality, the pressure on these players, if we concede first tonight, we're done. And obviously, if we lose tonight, we are out of Europe full stop. We won't even get into the Europa League. So I do think Bayern are going to end up getting the win. As for the other game, the important thing to note is since Copenhagen won 4-3 against Manchester United in that very controversial game with the Rashford red card and whatnot, Copenhagen haven't won a single game. They have drawn or lost every single game since beating Manchester United. Galatasaray, on the other hand, having lost one game in the Cup, I believe, have won every single game since their defeat to Bayern Munich. So, and also given the fact that Copenhagen and Galatasaray both have to win. That's the other thing as well. If they had to get a draw, I think there was a much more chance of being a draw. But with both sides having to win this game to get into the knockout stages, I think it's going to be so open and the better team will end up coming out on top, which is Galatasaray, which is why my actual prediction is 3-1 to the away side in both games. I just think Bayern will be too much in the end, even though, like I say, they've lost and whatever. I just think we've not got it. I don't think we've got the mentality to get the result tonight. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we do get the result tonight, because then at least we'll get a Europa League spot. As for the other game, I just think Galatasaray are too good for Copenhagen. If Copenhagen needed the draw, I think they'd be more than capable of getting the draw or even sneaking the win. The fact that Copenhagen have to win means that I think Galatasaray will win. But we'll see. I hope it's going to be these predictions that come in, but I think realistically it's going to be these ones. And it will see Bayern win the group, Galatasaray finish second, Copenhagen go into the Europa League, and Manchester United crash out of Europe altogether before that big game at Anfield at the weekend. On to Group B, and things are a lot simpler in Group B. We start off with Lens against Sevilla, where Sevilla quite simply have to win or they are out of Europe altogether. Lens just need a point to get themselves into the Europa League. PSV and Arsenal are through regardless, due to the fact that Arsenal cannot be caught at the top of the group, and PSV have the countback advantage over Lens. So even if Lens wins and PSV lose, even though they'll be on the same points, PSV will go through regardless. So for Lens, it's just draw or win tonight, and they are into the Europa League. For Sevilla, they of course have to win to do their usual job of getting into the Europa League for another season. The only problem for them is that Lens are just very, very good defensively in games where it matters. They've had 3 clean sheets in their last 5 games. Obviously, they did lose 6-0 to Arsenal. But I just think Lens will have enough. I think Sevilla will probably score, but I think Lens will do enough to get the job done tonight. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, emulating the result in the reverse fixture. As for PSV and Arsenal, I think PSV will win this game. I think they will probably end up playing more of their stronger players. They're in a good position right now. They'll want to end this European group stage on a high. Arsenal just don't need to risk anything. They have already won this group regardless. They've got a big game in the Premier League against Brighton at the weekend and then a game at Anfield going into that Christmas period. So they're not going to want to be risking any players with potential injuries. There's already doubts over Saka and Martinelli anyway. I think you're going to see a very, very weak Arsenal team tonight and PSV will end up taking it. I'm going to go for 2-1. Fair play to Arsenal's reserves if they do get the result. On to Group C and a very similar situation once again where we have Napoli taking on Braga. However, this is a little bit of a decider. I say that Braga have to win by a margin of 2 or more tonight in able to overhaul Napoli on countback. Napoli are 3 points clear of Braga. They won the reverse fixture 2-1. So, like I say, Braga are going to have to pull off a hell of a result in Naples tonight if they're going to get through. Given that fact, I think that, again, kind of like the Copenhagen-Galatasaray situation, I think that just plays into Napoli's hands much better. And I'm going to go for a 4-1 win to Napoli, which will see them go through and Braga possibly dropping into the Europa League. However, if that result goes that way, Union Berlin will get into the Europa League if they beat Real Madrid. And again, Real Madrid have got already guaranteed top spot in this group. However, they are 15 points from 15, and I think they will want to round off this group by winning every single game. Plus, Union Berlin's record, as we all know, has been absolutely horrific. They did win at the weekend, though, so fair play to Union Berlin for starting to pick up some results in the Bundesliga. So they are starting to turn the corner a little bit. As I said, I think Real Madrid will make some changes tonight. Again, they've got big games coming up in La Liga after drawing to Real Betis at the weekend, seeing Girona now top the league in La Liga. So we'll see. I think whatever side Real Madrid put out, they'll probably just be too strong for Union Berlin. But who knows? I'm going to go for 3-2 to Madrid. Union obviously going to be up for it, like I say, because if they hear news that Braga are losing, then they will have the opportunity to sneak into that Europa League spot. Finally, we have Group D, and we have a top of the group decider between Inter Milan and Real Sociedad. And this does have ramifications because obviously group winners play against group runners-up, and you always want to be in that group winners slot to give yourself the best chance of avoiding all of the top teams in the Champions League. Now, I just think away from home, I think this is too much of an ask for Real Sociedad. I say this off the back of them winning 3-0 away at Villarreal, which is a great result for them. I just think Inter at home are too strong. They've been phenomenal both in Europe and in Serie A so far this season at home. I just think they're a little bit too strong. Sociedad, more than capable of pulling off a result tonight. I just don't think they're going to quite have enough. And I'm going to go for 2-1 to Inter Milan. But I think it could be a good game. And like I say, with both teams needing the win, should I say, Inter needing the win at home, I think they are going to get it. And finally, it is Salzburg taking on Benfica, a Benfica side that has been absolutely tragic so far in this group stage, but somehow they have the opportunity of qualifying for the Europa League. The only issue is Salzburg have been pretty resolute defensively. They've only conceded 5 goals so far in this tournament, but they have only scored 3 goals so far in this tournament as well. So makes for an interesting one. Benfica, on the other hand, have obviously scored more, but conceded way more. And Benfica have to get the win. I just think Salzburg will probably hold on. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. But watch this space. This could be the day Benfica finally turn up and sneak into the Europa League playoffs. But we shall see. It's going to be a very interesting night. Those are all of my predictions on screen for you now. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think is going to happen? Are Manchester United going to pull off the miracle this evening? We shall see. I will be back tonight after that Manchester United game with my reaction to whatever happens, and we'll discuss what is going to happen in terms of Manchester United, whether or not it's going to be a Champions League future, a Europa League future, or just absolute nothingness. Thank you very much for watching. If you're not going to see my reaction, I will see you tomorrow morning for tomorrow's predictions. I'll see you then.